HOA president tries to evict me at 6 a.m. for aesthetic violations, but she didn't know I was a state attorney general building a case against her. Wait until you see her face when I flash my badge. The chill of the early morning hadn't quite lifted when a pounding on my door startled me awake. I stumbled out, robe askew, to face a sight that would forever haunt my memory. Deborah, our HOA president, a woman whose name had become synonymous with petty tyranny. She stood there, a vision of self-importance, clipboard clutched like a scepter, her fanny pack a fortress of rules, and a Bluetooth earpiece blinking ominously. Beside her, 2 rent-a-cops loomed, and a locksmith was already desecrating my doorframe with his drill. This property, she declared with a sneer that curdled my coffee, is being seized by the Whispering Pines Estates Homeowners Association. My blood ran cold, but a spark of defiance ignited deep within me. With a slow, deliberate sip of my now bitter coffee, I reached into my pocket. The glint of my official badge caught the nascent sunlight, a silent, powerful retort. "State Attorney General's office," I stated, my voice a calm, unwavering steel. "You've just made the biggest mistake of your life." The drill screeched to a halt. The hired muscle visibly flinched. And Deborah? Her triumphant smirk dissolved into a mask of pure, unadulterated terror in a mere blink. Her perfectly manicured hands, which had so often pointed accusingly, now trembled uncontrollably. The color drained from her tanned face, leaving it a sickly white. How did it come to this, you ask? Let me tell you about Ethan Miller, a man who just wanted a quiet life. I'm a simple man, you see, content with my bonsai trees and Sunday crosswords. Moving to Whispering Pines Estates was supposed to be a fresh start, a tranquil haven of manicured lawns and identical homes. But beneath the veneer of suburban perfection, a storm was brewing. Deborah, our self-appointed community excellence director, deemed my modest birdbath and seasonal wreath grave offenses. The harassment began subtly, with formal, purple-inked letters arriving like unwelcome pronouncements. Violation, shrub trimming technique non-standard. Violation, curtains not approved beige. My personal favorite. Violation, suspicious silence after 9 p.m. suggesting illicit activities. Can you believe the audacity? She'd deliver these decrees herself, always at the most inconvenient times, tapping her nails, reading aloud as if I were a particularly dim child. The irony stung. Her own curtains were more cream than beige, but rules, it seemed, were only for us mere mortals. Soon the fines rained down like a relentless hailstorm. $50 for a blade of grass a millimeter too long. $200 for parking my car a mere 2 degrees off parallel. $950 for emotionally disruptive solar panel glare. She even plastered my photo on the HOA bulletin board, emblazoned with, "Is Ethan Miller hiding something?" as if buying organic groceries made me an international fugitive. Her tactics grew increasingly bizarre. I have security footage, mind you, of Deborah crawling through my backyard at 11 p.m. in a bizarre suburban ninja outfit, headlamp gleaming, all to verify weed density. She even reported me to code enforcement for running a surveillance operation from my home. The officer, bless his heart, just apologized, admitting he knew Deborah's antics. Little did she know, I was running surveillance but for a multi-million-dollar Medicare fraud case, not her fantastical spy scenarios. The absurdity escalated. She measured my trash cans at dawn, like a crime scene investigator. My blinds, she claimed, violated uniformity because they were tilted inconsistently. She even hired a private investigator to follow me, who, after 2 days of watching me commute to the state capitol, refunded her money and told her to stop wasting his time. Then came the behavioral violations. My morning newspaper reading was surveillance, my jog's suspicious movement patterns, my takeout orders secret meetings. She presented all this at an HOA meeting in a PowerPoint no less, titled The Ethan Problem, a clear and present danger to community values. The meetings became farcical. Deborah would drone on for half an hour about my infractions, while I, in the back, quietly gathered evidence. She invented a color-coded card system, yellow, red, and a special purple card for crimes against community aesthetics. Residents rolled their eyes. My name came up every 3 minutes. Once she spent 45 minutes on unauthorized bird activity, claiming my bird bath attracted undesirable avian elements. She had a laminated spreadsheet, for heaven's sake, categorizing acceptable birds, cardinals, yes, versus aggressive ones, blue jays, absolutely not. Her vendetta culminated in the Miller Monitoring Subcommittee, a chilling testament to her power over bullied board members. Their meeting minutes, which I later obtained, contained entries like, subject observed walking dog in counterclockwise direction, possible coded message to unknown parties, and subject's breathing patterns while retrieving mail suggest anti-community sentiment. Could it get any more insane? Then came that fateful Tuesday morning. Deborah arrived with her self-proclaimed matching t-shirt-clad HOA eviction task force. A locksmith was drilling, humming cheerfully, as if this were a normal Tuesday. A property seized by order of HOA sign was being hammered into my hydrangeas. She read from a fabricated Article 7, Section 19C of the HOA Charter, her voice dripping with false authority. Failure to submit ornamental decor plans, combined with flagrant disregard for community harmony standards, is grounds for immediate property forfeiture under the expanded enforcement provisions I personally authored. Oh, the irony! As I calmly produced my badge, the world seemed to hold its breath. The morning birds chirped, a sound Deborah would normally fine me for. The drill stopped mid-whir. The locksmith recoiled as if my door might explode. A rent-a-cop furtively removed the seizure sign. Deborah's smug face cycled through shades of white, then a sickening green. I stepped out, my badge catching the sun, and said, with controlled calm, "Would you mind repeating that accusation into my lapel mic? The State Attorney General's office is very interested in HOA overreach. You've just become our star witness against yourself." 2 hours later, the tables had turned dramatically. Deborah sat under the very gazebo where she'd held her petty tribunals, now an interrogation site for state investigators. I, in my full professional attire, flanked by 2 investigators and a recording camera, watched her squirm. Her feeble excuses about protecting property values only dug her deeper. The charges were extensive, almost comically criminal: fraudulent fines, illegal entry, impersonating civil authority, a felony, and my favorite, HOA funds used for a violation detection golf cart that she actually used for country club trips. Every mention of embezzlement made her eye twitch, a grotesque attempt at a wink. The financial records revealed a staggering truth. For 3 years, Deborah had systematically siphoned over $175,000 in HOA dues for lavish personal projects, leaving a paper trail so blatant it mocked actual criminals. A community wellness retreat was her cousin's spa package. $30,000 in landscaping improvements mysteriously only benefited her koi pond. $2,000 a month for being a visionary leader was just her harassing neighbors. She even created fake companies, Premium Lawn Excellence LLC, Just Deborah with Microsoft Paint, Aesthetic Compliance Consultants, her sister's company that never consulted, and Violation Processing Systems Inc., charging $300 per letter she printed at home. Her son billed the HOA for military-grade surveillance when he just installed clearance ring doorbells. The community once cowed erupted. Fines for excessive happiness and non-standard garage door usage were exposed. An elderly couple nearly lost their home over a wheelchair ramp not matching the approved color palette despite ADA compliance. I released my report recommending full board dissolution and a forensic audit. The governor himself called it textbook suburban tyranny. Deborah became the poster child for everything wrong with HOAs. The arrest? It happened during a live-streamed HOA budget meeting. Deborah was mid-lecture, proposing a 40% dues increase for enhanced compliance, when 2 state troopers walked in. As handcuffs clicked, she shrieked, "I was the culture. I maintain standards. Property values will plummet." A resident's cry echoed back, "We hated your culture, Deborah. My petunias were never good enough." Applause filled the room as she was led away, still trying to cite the troopers for non-approved footwear. The audit confirmed over $175,000 embezzled. Her defense of aesthetic excellence fell flat. Convicted of embezzlement, fraud, impersonating civil authority, and stalking for her midnight antics, she received 3 to 5 years in prison, full restitution, and a $75,000 fine. Her jaw dropped. "But I had a color-coded violation system," she whispered. "I laminated the guidelines." Oh, the sweet, sweet sound of justice.